on in face of adversity in his New Year message. President Marcos on Wednesday, January 1st, urged the Filipino people to find inspiration in the good acts drawn from the hardships in the past year as the nation welcomes the new year. In his message, the president said, reflecting on the resilience shown by Filipinos in overcoming the challenges from calamities that disrupted lives in 2024, that it is just crucial for the nation's progress to esteem such moments as hallmarks of the extraordinary strength the nation gains through solidarity and perseverance. The PAOCC to go after small-scale POGOs this 2025. The Presidential Anti-Organized Crime Commission vowed to catch small-scale Philippine offshore gaming operators this 2025 after President Marcos's order for their total closure lapsed on December 31st, 2024. PAOCC Executive Director Gilbert Cruz said in an interview on Teleradyo that most of the POGO hubs in the country closed down after the president's 2024 State of the Nation address, where he announced banning the controversial operations. However, he admitted that there are still some that continue to operate and are now transitioning to small-scale operations, and that they will be monitoring them and eventually be caught this year. Rainy weather prevails across most of the Philippines on the first day of 2025, according to PAGASA. 3 weather systems brought rainy weather to most parts of the Philippines on Wednesday, January 1st. In its weather update, the Philippine Atmospheric, Geophysical, and Astronomical Services Administration said the Intertropical Convergence Zone, shear line, and the Northeast Monsoon, or Amihan, have brought cloudy skies with rain to many parts of the country. PAGASA said the ITCZ affected the Visayas, Mindanao, and Palawan, while the shear line affected the eastern sections of northern and central Luzon. The Amihan also affected the rest of northern Luzon. The Philippine flag is flown at half-mast in South Korea to mourn Jeju Air crash victims, while no Filipinos were aboard the said plane. The Philippine Embassy in Seoul has flown the Philippine flag at half-mast following the tragic incident that killed 179 of the 181 people aboard Jeju Air, Boeing 737-800 that crashed over the weekend at the Muan International Airport. The Philippine Embassy in Thailand already earlier reported that there were no Filipinos on board the flight that departed Bangkok and landed on the belly before skidding off a runway and bursting into flames after hitting a concrete barrier in South Korea. On New Year's Eve, reports showed that South Korea had a subdued celebration in welcoming the new year, with its entertainment industry also pausing events in the wake of the plane crash. The Philippines faces intensified risks from China and Marcos-Duterte tensions. The Philippines is seen as safe from the repercussions of U.S. President-elect Donald J. Trump's economic agenda, although the country faces greater risks from escalating tensions related to domestic politics, as well as its territorial dispute with China, according to think tanks. Hong Kong-based consulting firm Steve Vickers and Associates said that a crisis in the South China Sea could still spiral out of control. The deployment of U.S. Typhoon and high artillery mobility missiles to the Philippines, the rotation of U.S. Marines through the islands, and Japanese support for Manila all make clear that the South China Sea has now been linked to other regional security challenges, at least from the U.S. and Japanese military's operational perspectives. Lower LPG prices welcome the new year. Consumers can expect some savings to start the year as Petron Corporation and Selene announced rollbacks in the prices of liquefied petroleum gas, effective on January 1st, 2025. In an advisory, Petron said it implemented 90 centavos per kilogram rollback in LPG prices starting 12:01 a.m. on January 1st. Meanwhile, Selene also announced a price reduction of 91 centavos per kilogram effective 6 a.m. on the same day. Thousands of Serbians turned New Year celebration into an anti-government protest. Instead of the traditional boisterous street partying on New Year's Eve, tens of thousands of protesters led by university students gathered overnight in Belgrade and other Serbian cities to demand political reforms and justice in the Balkan country. The protesters have been actively demonstrating following the tragic collapse of a concrete canopy in the northern city of Novi Sad's central train station on November 1st, which resulted in 15 fatalities. The tragedy has been attributed to corruption and substandard construction practices by the populist Serbian leadership. leading to a widespread public outcry and demands for accountability. Korean series Squid Game Season 2 smashes records on Netflix, reaching #1 in 92 countries and territories. Netflix released the viewing numbers for the highly anticipated Squid Game Season 2, showing the Korean series setting records. Based on Netflix's weekly global top 10 list from December 23rd to 29th, its official ratings chart, Squid Game Season 2, which premiered on December 26, debuted at #1 on the non-English TV list with 68 million views, or 487.6 million hours viewed. According to Netflix, the series broke the record for the most views for a show in its premiere week, surpassing the record set by Wednesday Season 1 in 2022, which had 50.1 million views. Stay updated with the latest news. Visit our website at www.mb.com.ph or follow us on social media. Thanks for tuning in to the Manila Bulletin.